Come on.
On this episode,
You can get some adrenaline.
Gerardo desperately tries to save a newborn puppy.
My thumb and finger are the only thing that is keeping this puppy alive.
The only thing that worries me is we've got jugular there.
A young kangaroo urgently needs Audrey and Alison's help.
There's a lot of very delicate, life-threatening structures there.
Will the Joey survive surgery?
Oh, Audrey!
The plastic hollow ball with a squeaker inside.
And one of the weirdest things Scott's ever had to remove from a dog.
That is gigantic.
You make my world a better place.
Come on, there's your girl.
I can depend on
I hope she's still okay.
On the Gold Coast, a new mum is in trouble and Gerardo is rushing to help.
Just came with surgery and I've just been informed there's another surgery that we need to rush into, and it's for a dog named Bondi who is struggling to give birth.
Bonnie has managed to help deliver 3 pups, but the last one is stuck.
She has one more in there, but the heart rate of that one that's in there is low. So it means that that puppy is at risk of passing away as well.
Gerardo needs to perform an immediate emergency cesarean to try to save the puppy's life.
Take you to surgery, sweetie, and we'll get that last one out. Oh, you're right. Good girl. We're about to induce anesthesia on Bondi, but before we do that, we're going to clip and get as many of the things done as possible, because once we induce anesthesia, there's a risk that the puppy may die. We'll get all the clipping done now, Bonnie, so that you are under anesthetic for the shortest period of time. Okay. You know, 1/2 mil is quite a lot, but she probably hasn't any pre-med yet. There we go, sweetie. Just flush that through. Give it a couple seconds. Because the puppy's heart rate is low, there's a risk of it passing away under anesthetic. So we've got to get in there and get it out as quick as possible. We'll have a team out here ready for when it comes out to help resus. Away. I hope she's still okay in there.
This is so beautiful.
Today, Audrey and Alison are on the road, heading to one of their favourite places, the Possumwood Wildlife Sanctuary.
And here we are.
The twins are regular volunteers, helping out owner Rosemary, who takes in sick and injured wildlife.
We treat a lot of animals that are caught in fences, or we call them fence hangers. Animals that are attacked by dogs or hit by cars.
The vet twins are always welcome, with Rosemary looking after hundreds of animals every year.
Our first patient of the day is actually a wild kangaroo that was brought in. So we've got her in one of the recovery rooms by herself, and we're very worried about her because she's got this huge mass just under her chin here. That mass is looking really big and we're worried it's infection. We've started on some antibiotics and that's reduced the size. So keen to get in there, find out what's happening and try and get rid of that abscess and infection.
I mean, the only thing that worries me is we've got, jugular there. There's a lot of very delicate, life-threatening structures there.
Definitely difficult surgery. They always take hours.
The unwell Roo named Fifi is also a new mum.
And she also had a Joey that was very, very weak and malnourished. So he was actually unable to move, and we think actually Fifi didn't have enough milk for the Joey. So we had to actually get them both into care and treat both of them.
Oh my goodness. Such a sweet boy.
to meet you. Hi. Oh, you're a smoocher.
In Melbourne at the Lost Dogs home, Danny's patient is 18-month-old stray Deacon.
Loves a chin scratch. Oh, you do. That feels nice. Doing lots of purring. Oh, yes, thank you.
Deacon is the sweetest, smoochiest little cat, and the fact that he is, at the moment, so uncomfortable, but still so affectionate. He's just a darling.
Attendant Melissa has noticed something extremely worrying with both of Deacon's eyes.
So he just looks like he's squinting a lot, and there's quite a bit of discharge coming from his eyes, so they look a little bit sore.
Oh, right. Well, I might do a bit of a once-over before we have a look at the eyes, because that might get a little bit more stressful. All right, I'm just going to check your heart, sweetie pie.
Deacon was brought in by a member of the public because he was lost, and unfortunately we haven't found Deacon's original owner, but the people that brought him in would love to rehome him, so it's really exciting that he has a loving family to go back to.
All right, just going to have a little look at your eyes now, darling, okay? Come have a look here. Hi, sweetie. I know. All right. Oh, yes.
Looking at Deacon's face, immediately I can see his eyes are so uncomfortable. He's basically got his eyes so squinted up that he can't even open them and see. He's walking around blind, essentially.
Oh, that eyelid. He's got really bad entropy and his poor eyelashes are rolled all the way in. Touching, he's still rolling all the way out there. Oh, that'd be so uncomfortable, sweetheart.
Entropion is essentially the inversion of your eyelids. So you end up with a lot of abrasion on the surface of the eye, which can lead to a lot of issues. So it's very uncomfortable, very painful, and very serious. Having hair constantly scratching your eye, you can barely open his poor little eyes at all, mate. I've never seen entropion this bad in a cat before. He could absolutely end up blind from this.
Oh, you poor sweet.
We've got to get in there and get it out as quick as possible. Okay, Bonnie. You ready to cut?
Yeah.
Okay.
On the Gold Coast,
First incision. No going back now.
Gerardo is performing an emergency cesarean on new mum Bonnie.
You want to cauterize?
She's already given birth to 3 live pups,
So thin.
but the last pup is stuck and has a dangerously low heartbeat.
Cutting down. We've got a scissor to extend and met some bones.
What we're going to do now is open her uterus, pull out that puppy, hopefully it's still alive, and pass it on to one of our team to perform resuscitation.
Oh. There we go. Okay, guys, ready? Head, puppy, just pulling gently. There we go, it's coming. The placenta's coming. Ready? Go.
The puppy is out and it's a girl, but she's barely alive.
The way that we resuscitate puppies is by rubbing them vigorously with a warm towel. This helps stimulate breathing and also helps remove fluid from their lungs.
Has a heartbeat that's just not great.
The tiny girl is close to death.
Come on.
Every second is critical.
You got it?
Yeah, its heart rate is like 1 beat every couple of seconds at the moment.
You get some adrenaline?
At this point, we're going to try anything. So we're going to give some adrenaline into the puppy's mouth, and hopefully that will stimulate the heart to beat harder and faster.
And there.
Gerardo and the team are working frantically,
Come on.
but so far, the puppy isn't responding.
Still nothing, Ben?
It's still got like heartbeat.
Come on, little one.
The only thing that worries me is we've got, jugular there. There's a lot of very delicate, life-threatening structures there.
At the Possumwood Wildlife Sanctuary, Audrey and Alison are about to try to remove a massive lump on Fifi the kangaroo's neck.
Oh my gosh. So with that jugular vein just running straight under the mass, it's a really, really risky surgery.
The girls are under extreme pressure because kangaroos don't respond well to anaesthetic.
You can see the jugular is just coming up right there and going just under the lump. If we hit the jugular, it's going to be very stressful because we're going to have to stop the bleeding, and the jugular is one of the main veins in the body. So I'm going to maybe start cutting from this side and then we'll peel back. So I'm just blunt dissecting the abscess off the skin, and we're just going really carefully because we know that the jugular is lying at that point.
I'm holding Fifi's head really, really still because I want Audrey to be able to really dissect carefully. The jugular is literally right there, just under her finger.
So one wrong move here and this could be really bad. Back a touch, Crystal. Just back about 5 centimeters.
Poor Fifi, I can't imagine how uncomfortable this must be. Ooh, look at that capsule.
So there it is.
Getting close jugular.
Getting close to the jugular, I know.
Hang on, stop. Oh, Audrey! Big bleeder. Yeah, you got it. Just don't dab it, let it seal. Whoa!
It's intense surgery, but Audrey finally manages to dissect the lump away from the jugular and the lymph node. And now she can remove it completely.
There it is.
Yes, we got it all. That was the bit that was under the jugular.
Good job. Yay! No. It was a lot of work because it was attached to so many important structures, but it all came away really well.
Just very curious to see what sort of abscess this is. So I'm actually going to slice it open and have a look on the inside.
Audrey.
What?
It's not an abscess.
What is it? We better send that off for histopathology. That doesn't look like a typical abscess.
No, it looks like a tumour.
Oh, what a good boy.
Hi guys.
Hey.
Who's this handsome fella?
This is Lenny.
Hi Lenny.
At Scott's Richmond practice, Border Collie puppy Lenny has just been brought in and he's in trouble.
Lenny was in the park playing with other puppies and stole a ball. He kept it, and when we put him in the car, he obviously thought we were going to take it from him. And it was there 1 minute, and then it was gone.
Owners Alice and Ryan can't quite believe an innocent trip to the park has ended up with a serious emergency.
It was worrying today. Very worrying.
Done in one.
So, the owner said it was slightly bigger than a golf ball, slightly smaller than a tennis ball. So we're not expecting that's going to be something that's going to pass through very easily on it.
Yeah.
With assistance from junior vet Laura and nurse Nathan, Scott is going to have to somehow try to retrieve the missing ball.
He's about 5.5 months, so we've had him since he was 2 months. It was lockdown gave us the opportunity, being home more than we ever were, so it gave us that. So that's the one good thing that's come out of COVID and lockdown for us.
Is Mum really confident that he did swallow it?
She's sure that it was in his mouth and it went down whole. It was a plastic hollow ball with a squeaker inside.
Should I see if I can make your tummy squeak?
Scott is trying to lighten the mood, but he knows all too well that Lenny's predicament is potentially very dangerous.
Okay. There's something quite solid there. Can you feel it? So
yeah.
It feels so a bit solid at one end and then tapers a little bit.
There's no way Scott can leave the ball and hope Lenny passes it naturally.
Unfortunately, if it's past the stomach, we're just not going to be able to remove it with the scope.
If the ball moves into the small intestine, it could cause infection, excruciating pain, and even death.
Big baby.
If Scott can't locate the ball and safely remove it, the young pup is going to need emergency surgery.
Normally with dogs, we would hope that when they've swallowed something silly, we give them an injection and they vomit it up. With Lenny, this ball is so big, I just cannot see that it's going to find its way up the esophagus and out the mouth.
Let's get him anesthetized. Good boy. Okay, you're a good boy.
So as much as I'd like to say that we can make Lenny vomit and he'll vomit up the ball, in this particular case, it's simply not going to happen.
To confirm exactly where the ball has ended up, Scott starts by taking an X-ray.
X-ray.
Oh wow, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, that is huge.
Go. Oxygen's flowing.
On the Gold Coast, Gerardo and his team are frantically trying to resuscitate a newborn pup.
Still nothing, Ben.
But the tiny girl is barely breathing and her heartbeat is dangerously weak.
Come on, little one.
The puppy has a heartbeat, but it's incredibly slow. Only 2 beats every 15 seconds. So I'm gonna have to start chest compressions.
Come on.
My thumb and finger are the only thing that is keeping this puppy alive.
There's 2 breaths there. Come on. Come on, little one. So we're trying to resusc the puppy. It's come out and it's not very responsive. It still has a heartbeat, but it's very slow. And it is taking breaths, but intermittently. We've got oxygen going on, we've got heat going through, we're suctioning fluid out. It's actually pretty hard to work on small little babies. Come on. Yeah, that's 2 breaths. No. Come on, little one.
We've got all hands on deck, but we're running out of time.
That's another breath. Come on, little one. You bring this guy back, it's gonna be a miracle. Come on.
Audrey.
What?
It's not an abscess.
What is it? We better send that off for histopathology. That doesn't look like a typical abscess.
No, it looks like a tumour.
Audrey and Ellison's relief after safely removing a large mass from Fifi the kangaroo's neck is short-lived. They now fear the lump could be a dangerous tumour.
So we'll send that off to the lab and see what it comes back with.
Now that the surgery is over, we're on to the next big hurdle, which is the recovery phase. Oh my God. The recovery is usually the touch and go part. A lot of them we can lose during the recovery. They can either stop breathing or their heart will just slow down.
It's an agonising few minutes while everyone waits anxiously for Fifi to wake up.
Looks like she's waking up, she's moving her tail.
You're going up.
She's starting to twitch and lift her head and swallow, so I'm really, really relieved.
Aren't you a lucky duck?
I'm quite comfortable that she's recovered very, very well. She's just going to nod in and out of sleep from here on out. So we'll probably just let her rest and we'll check on her in the morning.
Oh, come on. Calm down.
In Bondi, Izzy is arriving at Kate's veterinary hospital with 8-month-old Miko.
What's going on? What's going on? You like joking?
Hello.
Hi, how are you? Who's that?
How are you?
Doing well.
The lively young Australian shepherd clearly loves being the centre of attention.
Are you going to come through so I can have a look at you? Oh. Do you like a scratch on the tummy? Yes, I do. Come on, little monkey.
Izzy wants Kate to look at Miko after noticing something worrying in the way the dog walks.
Got Miko when she was 8 weeks old. So like the very second that you can get her, I got her. I always wanted a working dog. They're super smart and super loving, and yeah, I just wanted all of those elements in one.
1, 2, 3, go! Well done. So before we start, tell me about what's been going on.
I feel like she just has a little bit
of a limp in her back left leg. It comes and goes. She loves to play at the park. At speed, she's fine. After she plays with dogs, especially big ones, she kind of walks away with a little bit of a limp. And then she'll lie down.
She's been well otherwise. Has she been eating and drinking and doing all the right things? She looks like super healthy.
Great. She's been really good.
Yeah.
She's a little mixed because she's 8 months old, but she's great.
When Izzy got Miko, I felt like she was a little ray of sunshine, and I was like really hoping that there was nothing wrong with Miko at any point.
I'm gonna feel a good leg first.
Yes, good girl.
Kate's having a good feel around Miko's hips to see if there's any reaction that might indicate pain.
Okay. It's okay, good girl.
Good girl.
On the Gold Coast, new mum Bonnie has been carefully moved to recovery after her emergency cesarean.
Come on, little one.
Just metres away, Gerardo and his team are still battling to try to save the life of her newborn puppy.
Come on.
For almost an hour, they've been performing CPR, desperately trying to keep the puppy's tiny heart beating.
You want to wheel the ultrasound over?
We've been doing CPR for a really long time now, but before we give up, we're going to do an ultrasound first to see if the heart is still pumping.
Come on. There it is. Oh, there's a heartbeat. There's a heartbeat. It's slow, but let's keep going. We'll win. Come on. God, it's a good thing we did that ultrasound, otherwise I was about to give up. I'm not very hopeful. Come on, but we got it. Come on.
To our delight, we are getting some results from our efforts. The puppy is breathing, although not very often, and its colour is now starting to become a bit more pink.
Drop of atropine as well, please. Come on. I wonder how long she's been struggling in there like that. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Put her down. Oh, that's more frequently now. That's one breath every 10 seconds, one then. She's breathing more frequently now. Oh yeah, it's once every 8 seconds. Come on. Come on.
The one thing that we all look out for when we're resuscitating puppies is its first cry out. So we're not going to stop until we hear that.
Hey, look at this. Look at these little paws. They're looking a bit pinkish now. Oh yeah. I can feel it. We're only moments away from a big red nose and a...
Suddenly, it's the sound everyone has been waiting for.
That is so cute. How long is that squeak in the making? That is like nearly an hour. An hour.
It is amazing to hear that sound, and you never get tired of it.
Oh, little one. Hey, you're like, stop rubbing me. It's been an hour. Do you reckon she's good to go back with the rest? Yeah? Okay, great. Hey, little one, everyone's been working really hard for you. You did a good job.
The puppy's colour is pink, it's moving around, it's breathing on its own, and it's crying out. Success. Now it's time to put it with the rest of the puppies and see if we can get it to suckle.
Oh, little Bonnie. You saved your little puppy. It's a little girl.
Bonnie is now letting down milk and the puppies are suckling. It's amazing to see this, and it is an incredible ending to a very stressful last couple hours.
You did a very good job. Good job, Bonnie.
These poor eyelashes are rolled all the way in. Oh, that'd be so uncomfortable, sweetheart.
At the Lost Dogs home in Melbourne, Danny is shocked at the severity of a painful eye condition in stray cat Deacon.
So he's definitely got bilateral entropion, so like inversion of those lower eyelids. So they're rolling in and all the hair is just rubbing on the surface of the eye. So we'll certainly need to surgically correct for that. Entropion in time will cause ulceration, so that's a damage to the actual cornea. It would lead to horrendous pain, vision impairment, potentially rupture of his eyeballs in time, and that means surgery. What we need to do first is pop a little bit of local anaesthetic drops in the eyes just to see where that entropion just relaxes out to, so that we can get a better idea of how much we're going to actually have to remove as far as the skin surgically to correct that entropion. Hey mate, which will be wonderful. After I've put the local anaesthetic eye drops in, Deacon does relax his eyes a little bit.
Good boy. So that's how much it's rolled in at the moment.
But it's pretty clear there's still a huge amount of excess eyelid rolling in. It's really bad, that entropion. Good boy. Here we go.
Is it so bad?
I perform a fluorescein stain on Deacon's eyes, and that's to show up if there's any current ulcers on the cornea. I'm just going to turn the light off so I can have a good look at those eyes. If there is, we'll see a bright green uptake of dye. If there's not, they should be clear. So we've got our third eyelid up, so I can't see a big chunk of the cornea. It's really hard to do a thorough assessment of the cornea because Deacon's lifting up his third eyelids further and further, so I can't see any obvious ulcer, but it's possible he could be hiding some in that medial area. All right, so I think the plan for him is that we'll take him to surgery today to get those eyelids sorted. Poor little thing. All right, mate, you wanna hop in your cubby? Here you go. Oh, it's a nice little hidey hole. The current state of Deacon's eyes just means he really has no quality of life right now. It's a constant misery for him, so we just have to fix it. All right, Deacon, let's get you all sorted, mate. You are gonna feel so much better.
X-ray.
At his Richmond clinic, Scott is x-raying Lenny after the young Border Collie swallowed a ball.
Oh wow, pretty obvious.
That is huge.
The x-ray confirms that the ball is lodged in Lenny's stomach.
Yeah.
Big ball.
A huge ball. How the hell did he swallow that?
Whole, down in one.
Well, that's like trying to swallow a whole apple. Like, how did he do it?
The next step is for us to use a endoscope to put a camera down the gastrointestinal tract and have a look at this thing, and I think all we can do is try and see if we can pull it out. Oh, there we go. What's that there? There we are. There's our ball.
The ball is clearly visible, but the smooth round surface is going to make latching onto it extremely difficult.
There is going to be a serious disparity between the size of the ball and the size of my grabbers. Go for it, yep. Yep, go for it, really go for it, yep. Nah, it's going to slide off every time. Go, yep, yep. It is so excruciating to be able to see something and not be able to grab hold of it. Are you getting any traction on it?
No.
My grabbers just keep sliding off it, and we're just getting more and more frustrated because I know in the back of my mind that if we can't grab it, I am going to have to perform surgery. Push right against it. Go, go, go. Yeah. Ah. It's not gonna happen, is it? God, it's so infuriating. But look, even if we did grab it, I'm just not convinced it will come out anyway. It's just so big.
Surgery is now inevitable.
I actually thought it would come out either naturally, the way it perhaps would have done, or could have done if it was smaller, or they could have got it out. So yeah, it was a bit of a shock.
Assisting Scott with the unique and risky surgery is going to provide a unique learning opportunity for junior vet Laura.
So midline incision starting quite cranially.
Yep.
And then have a look and identify the stomach, exteriorize it.
It is a big thing because we are opening up a dog's body cavity, and then we're opening up the stomach, which is full of bacteria and enzymes. There's blood vessels everywhere. So yes, there's a lot of potential downfalls of doing something like this, but it literally is the only thing we could do to get this ball out. And there it is. Grab hold of it. Here it goes. Whoa! Wow, that is gigantic. It looks even bigger in like reality, doesn't it? This puppy has just done a classic puppy thing of swallowing something silly that was unable to go up or down. In the future, I'd love to say that Lenny will learn from this, but he really won't. He won't remember this at all. And all his owners can do is do their best to ensure that anything that he plays with is too big for his mouth. But in this case, it has to be gigantic. That was gigantic.
Yes, good girl. See, it's okay.
So as you can see, it's very difficult to see what's painful and what's not painful.
In Bondi, Kate is trying to work out if 8-month-old Miko has any painful areas around her hips. Owner Lizzie has noticed a slight limp in her lively young dog.
It's okay, good girl. That doesn't hurt. So what you can see today is that Miko isn't having none of this. She's squealing and carrying on like a pork chop. And the reality is that it's very difficult to tell in a puppy of her age whether something's pain or whether she's just being a monkey. I know, darling.
So Kate decides to take Miko outside to see just how serious the limp is.
Sweet. Here we go. Come here, Joe. Let's go.
So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take her for a little bit of a run, just to see if I can actually see any lameness in that back end or even in her front legs. Okay, so do you see? Guys, do you guys see that? To an untrained eye, Miko looks completely normal. I can see she's pretty heavy in the front limbs. And that makes me automatically think, is there something wrong with her back legs?
Well done.
No one knows their dog better than the owner. And the reality is when Izzy says there's something wrong with her dog, I take that seriously. She's only 8 months. And if there is something wrong with her legs, early intervention would be ideal. And I think what we might do is keep her here and take some x-rays.
Okay.
And I think that we get an answer, right?
What is the worst case scenario?
A worst case scenario is that she has some kind of genetic abnormality, something like a hip dysplasia, or she's got some early signs of degenerative joint disease.
Great.
Hip dysplasia is a congenital abnormality which results in an ill-fitting ball and socket in the hip joint.
I guess my worry around the x-rays would be whether there was a potential surgery that was needed to be done, or if there's something that's ongoing that's going to cause Miko trauma.
So let's do BD first. There is no cure for hip dysplasia. At very best, you can give them new hips, but what it really means is a lifelong condition that causes them pain. It means they can't do regular dog fun things. It's not a great life.
That's right. My instant reaction is worst case scenario.
This is not what I expected to see at all. I'm going to send these to a specialist just to be doubly sure.
Oh my God, I cannot handle to lose her.
With the x-rays now going to a specialist, it's going to be a nervous 24 hours for Izzy.
Okay. Had a nice time, my darling. I hope you feel much better when you wake up.
At the Lost Dogs home in Melbourne, Danny is hoping surgery will be able to fix Deacon's debilitating eye condition. With dangerously inverted eyelashes, the young cat is in extreme pain and can barely see.
Open up those eyes, my friend.
There's a lot of pressure to get this surgery right. I've never done an entropion surgery on a cat, so today is definitely a little more stressful. The plan for surgery is essentially removing a strip of excessive eyelid from the lower and upper eyelids on both sides. By removing that skin, it actually pulls the eyelids down, opening them up again.
Surgeon Ewan is performing the delicate surgery on the first eye with Danny assisting, before taking over for the second eye.
So we've just gone about removing some excessive skin on the lower eyelid of the left eye. We're suturing that, and then the next step will be to remove the skin from the upper eyelid to try and open up that eye, and then sort of reassess how everything's sitting then. Just finished the left eye, moving on to the right eye now. The right eye is a little bit worse, so hopefully we get a good result.
This time Ewan will be observing as Danny performs the surgery. Removing just the right amount of excess skin will be the biggest challenge.
This is the scary part.
Come on, sweetie. Let's go.
Next day, in Bondi, the specialist report on Miko's hip x-rays is back, and it's time for Kate to deliver the findings.
Hello, Miko. Hi. Hello. Oh no. Hi, Mama.
You want to come and have a look at these x-rays?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's just start with the good news.
Okay.
They're fine.
They're all fine.
Right? They're all fine.
Everything is fine.
Everything is fine. She does not have hip dysplasia.
It's like my whole body just went.
I'm so relieved. I'm trying to look for a fault and I can't see one, and I'm cheering. So as you can see, the ball of this hip is really nice and snug in the pelvis. That's exactly what we're looking for. You actually have a dog with nothing wrong with her.
Nothing wrong with her.
What I do want you to do from here though, so a few rules. As you can see from these x-rays, she still has a lot of growth plates there. This is the edge of the tibia, and this is actually a growth plate in here. Eventually that little tibial tuberosity is actually going to form a beautiful joint. And all it would take is a very small amount of pressure on one of these to displace those growth plates.
Wow, yeah, okay.
And then that whole piece of bone basically can fall off. You need to be very careful that you don't injure those bones. And the best way is controlled exercise. So not letting her go for an hour at the park absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
Doing high impact activity would be sort of equivalent to a child doing weights. Their bones are soft, their growth plates are soft. We need to make sure that we look after them. Bye, you guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Just finished the left eye, moving on to the right eye now.
In Melbourne, Surgeon Ewan has just removed the eyelid from Deacon's right eye. Now Danny will perform the delicate operation on the left eye.
So I've just made the initial incision along the margin of the eye, and now I'm actually going to make the curvy linear incision that actually will then dictate how much skin we remove. This is the scary part. So I'm just going to make a little incision here. Now I'm going to remove that excess skin and we'll see how it all looks. Alright, almost there. There we go. So I'm just about to suture together the two new margins, and then we'll be able to have a good look at how that eyelid is looking. See now that margin is visible, which is great, and once we lift up that rolled in upper eyelid, things will hopefully sit nicely again. So just got to do the upper eyelid next. There we go. So I've just finished suturing up. It's looking really good. I think once the swelling comes down, that's going to align really nicely. Sorry, darling. There you are.
Deacon will now rest up after his marathon surgery.
There's just no bigger sense of satisfaction than helping these animals that have nobody.
Two hours after Deacon's marathon eye surgery.
Hiya, mate. Having some yummy dinner? Hey, darling. Nice to see your little eyes. Hey? Oh, I know. It's all a little bit annoying, mate. Hey, but we'll get you feeling good. I'll check on you in a couple of weeks, okay? When you're all healed. Oh, you poor little duffer.
Wow, that is gigantic.
At his UK practice, Scott has just removed a large rubber ball from Lenny's stomach.
This puppy has just done a classic puppy thing.
Owners Alice and Ryan still can't quite believe a trip to the park ended with their beloved Border Collie undergoing surgery.
Hi guys.
Everyone is relieved the scary ordeal is over.
You look sorry for yourself.
I would say it's relatable to us trying to swallow a volleyball. It's so big.
Yeah.
For the size of his mouth and his head to the
Yeah.
size of the ball, it's
Yeah.
unbelievable. Here it is.
Yeah. Wow. It's not even ours.
Not even-
He pinched it.
Right. This really is quite incredible. I just don't know how he did it. It really is quite the party trick. He will mature, he will get that, emotional intelligence in time, but he just can't be trusted.
No. That's silly.
He's such a nice dog, isn't he? So we forgive him.
Just this one. Don't
Yeah, yeah. See you later. No more eating stupid things, okay? All right.
Thanks ever so much.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Bye, beautiful boy.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
Hi, Fifi. How are you?
At the Possumwood Wildlife Sanctuary, it's good news for Fifi. Tests have shown the tumour is not cancer.
Having a big drink there.
With the new mum recovering well, Audrey and Alison are hoping she's now able to start caring for her fragile little Joey.
All right, here we go.
Oh, he's so skinny.
Here's Mum.
I think every life is a life worth saving, and that's what we do as vets, is we help animals, we treat animals, we make them better, we give them a better quality of life. And I think that's the compassion of vets, and especially wildlife work.
Yeah, good girl. Yep.
She's cleaning him.
If an animal comes in and it's ill or it's sick, we're going to help it. It's just what we do and it's what we love.
It couldn't have gone any better, really. She's embraced it, he's jumped in, she's cleaning and toileting him now, so couldn't be better.
And exciting news for Deacon a few weeks after his eye surgery, with the young cat finding a new home.
Good girl. Ready?
A few weeks later, Isabella and Miko are back playing at the park,
I know, it's so exciting, isn't it?
but with a few new ground rules.
Miko, come here. We're doing one leash walk a day and then one trip to the park. But the park is nice and contained, not for too long. Just like Kate said, very minimal impact, too much energy. The happier that she is every day, the more joy she brings to our family.
As for new mum Bonnie, she's recovered from her emergency surgery and is keeping busy with her 4 hungry little pups.
Hi, I'm Dr. Danny. If you enjoyed this video, then please remember to subscribe to the Bondi Vet YouTube channel. Click on the screen now to continue watching more great content. And if you love Bondi Vet, then check out our Bondi Pet Marketplace at bondipet.com for a great range of Aussie pet products and services. We look forward to seeing you there.